Feed today on January 22nd, and tomorrow, which is the day that's not today, it usually comes after the day you're currently on.
Wow.
Tomorrow, I'm just going to explain every sentence many times over.
Sorry.
Tomorrow is the big auction day. I'm going to use my skills of mimography. Oh,
Hi, everyone.
caught me a woman.
I just need a pillow.
Oh, wait, no, I didn't. Off she goes. She got away. I'm going to have to reel her back in here. So Melissa is joining me. Wait, I gotta struggle more. There we go.
You need to struggle more. Am I a big catch?
No, you might be trying to get away.
Oh.
You might be looking for your freedom, running for the door. Nope, she was getting a pillow.
Yeah. I did something to my back. I don't know what. Now I need pillows.
I know what she did to her back. We were sitting in the car and it just went out. And I'm usually the one that has lower back problems, so it's weird for me to actually not have a sore back.
It's weird. I breathed. That's what I did too hard.
Sometimes
Breathing.
it just goes out.
I feel like that is a huge hint that maybe I should work out if my muscles can't hold anything in.
Well, Melissa was working so hard the day before helping me build a Lego kit. And that probably is what we figure put the pressure on her back and caused it to go out, hey?
Only me.
We were building the James Bond Lego car that came out. Because the Ghostbuster one was so fun, I went back to the store and got the James Bond car. But this time, I did that one with my lady. Why did you get to build that car too?
Because I like that car.
That's right. If I had my dream car, it would be a Jag XKE. That's what I like. I like the lines of them. I think they're swoopy and stylish. Enzo Ferrari thought it was the most beautiful car ever made. It's just a really cool car, and it's somewhat accessible. Melissa, on the other hand, likes an Aston Martin DB5. It's like $1 million car.
Or 6, but I prefer the 5.
4, 5, or 6. She likes that kind of body style.
Probably 5. Nah, I like them both. 5 and 6.
So I built a 1/12 scale model kit and Melissa of my Jag, and Melissa built a Lego kit with me for the Aston Martin. So
That's
together,
a pretty cool little kit, though.
that's right. We got our dream cars.
Guess who I see down here?
Who?
Matthew!
Oh, is Matthew back?
Yeah,
Welcome
I saw.
back, Matthew.
Welcome back. I hope that you're feeling better.
Yeah, Matthew is our moderator from New York.
And I see Hans.
And Hans is on as well. Well, nice to have you
And
both with us too.
Dave.
Wow, the
And
gang's
Sue
all here.
Howell.
It's like things are getting back in order again. It's nice to have you back, Matthew. It's the first time we've seen you back since you had COVID. So we're glad that you're feeling well enough.
I did a little dance because I saw on, I think it was Josh's live, right before my back went out in the car in that lineup. I saw you moderating on there, so I did a little happy dance. Maybe it was that happy dance.
Are you gonna show us the happy
Oh,
dance?
Heather. No,
Wait.
I can't. My back actually does hurt.
Wow.
I see Heather's on too. Even this dance didn't feel great.
I'll take it. Live entertainment.
Yeah.
So it has been, this past week has been pretty busy. We had a gentleman that was kind enough to send us a really fun mystery box that we did a live unboxing yesterday with my friend Paul. He was at the shop. He got some really cool stuff. So that was very nice. You never expect to have something like that show up in the mail. But when it does, we're honestly very grateful, and it was a very kind gesture. So thank you so much for that. But we're here to talk about the auction sale a little bit. I'm going to make some predictions, some optimistic predictions. There's a couple things I want to talk about. One, when I was going through the house, and this was the Musician's House series, for those of you that hadn't watched that series, when we went through the house, people were saying, well, why don't you go room by room? Or go one room at a time. Just do one room completely and then another room completely. Well, I was on an actual treasure hunt. And the reason I was kind of skipping around and looking is because I was actually searching for buried treasure. It was an actual treasure hunt. And out of all that digging around that I did, we found a whole bunch of jewelry. And of course, lots of antiques and collectibles and household stuff, which is being auctioned off on January 30th. The jewelry is ending tomorrow. And, oh, thanks, Melissa. Look, she just put the thing up.
Oh, I was like, what, Melissa? What did you do?
Yeah. My wife, she put a link up there.
That's the direct link, I think. I hope.
So when we last year, for those of you that have been with our channel for a bit, you knew that I had probably a few goals. One, any money that I've been saving to put up the building, I decided to redirect and pay off my current building And I really had no idea how I was going to afford to put up this other little cafe kind of structure that we want to build on our property. I went through the approval process, got all that done, and it got to the spot where I actually started putting out money for the foundation and the building itself. Didn't know how I was going to do that. But then we found all this jewelry in the house, and guess what? My goal, my optimistic prediction is that the sale of the jewelry tomorrow should be exactly enough for what I need to get the building and the cement pad in place. Now that won't include any finishing work on the inside or the HVAC system, but it will be a building that's up, and I think that tomorrow is going to do it for us. My hope is that we'll be able to take home tomorrow. That the auction itself will do about $150,000 in sale, which will be auction house takes 25%. So just right around $100,000, and then we'll chip in whatever money we had saved and set aside to make up the balance on getting the building put up. So amazing that we'll take all this stuff that we found in that house and turn it into a building. It's crazy to think of.
Yeah.
So it's highly optimistic, like I said. I don't know if we're going to get there or not, but I feel like it's going to get there. And the last batch of rings and stuff that we put through the sale were all kind of like, there was 40 rings that were worth over $1,000 each that we found. It was the most insane thing I've ever been on. The most, I always joke and I say that when I was a kid and we didn't have a whole lot of money, I always wanted to be like the kids in the Goonies, and I really identified with them, that they felt like they were getting kicked out of their house and they wanted to do something to help their parents, and so they went on this adventure to find all treasure, one-eyed Willie's treasure. And so for me, this was like a fulfillment of a childhood dream, almost, to go digging around a house looking for treasure and actually finding things, from silver bars to rings and all that. This will, if everything goes well tomorrow, this will be the biggest find I think I've ever had. I can't imagine there being one bigger. But the buying the contents of this house will be the biggest find we've had. Yeah. Julie is asking a question there. She says, how long do you think it'll take to get the addition up? Once we start in spring, because we have to wait until the ground thaws, it will probably take all summer and into fall. So it'll take the majority of summer to get the building constructed.
And for us, spring, like once the ground is actually thawed out, is like April.
Yeah. So all summer long, basically, spring and summer long, we'll be working on getting the building put up. And then I'll have winter to likely do the interior work. And that'll buy me some time to save up money to get the interior stuff done. So little bits at a time. You set these little goals for yourself, and you try and reach it. So I'm going to try and answer some questions here as we go along too.
Josie said, can you please explain the auction premiums, taxes, fees?
Every auction house, unless you go to some farm auctions where they don't charge you a premium, they charge me a percentage, and they'll charge, I think it's like 10 or whatever percent. I don't even know what the exact percentage is. They charge a percentage back to the buyer. It's sort of like a handling fee that the auction charges. So for them, it makes it worthwhile to put all the effort in for them to run the sale, to pay their staff, and to ship everything out. And then basically the shipping fee is just, I think they get a discounted rate on shipping. If you buy a whole bunch of stuff, they put it all in one box to have somebody else just deal with it, even though they take a pretty big percentage. And then come back. Or are we still buffering right now?
Yeah, a lot of people are still buffering. And then I looked and mine was buffering. I just
Okay,
if you notice that it's buffering, I can.
We're gonna see if we can get it back online.
Just make sure to refresh and then come back on, because we don't want to lose you. That worked for me.
Are we back now?
I just pushed refresh and mine came back on, but a lot of times it'll just stay buffering.
Are we back online?
Well, yeah, look, I'm there.
Back. Okay, there we go. We're back. So yeah, this is going to be a big day. Probably the most important auction sale of my life to date. It all comes down to tomorrow. And then I've been making plans already. I've been talking to contractors, getting quotes and estimates on getting myself booked in as soon as we can. I started talking to people last year, because you have to talk to contractors early. Like, I don't know where you guys are here. You can't really do much construction in winter, so you have to book people for when the weather is better, and they book up pretty quick. So you want to make sure that you get everybody all lined up and ready to go for when that time is right. Yeah, so it's going to be a big sale. And then we have all the other stuff is going on January 30th. And we have no idea how that's going to go over. But it's a lot of household stuff. I don't have as high hopes for that sale, although there are some really cool things there. It is just a lot of household things from around the house. And truthfully, all the stuff in the second auction is what I originally thought that I was buying when I bought the house. All the jewelry was just a bonus. And, you know, when you buy the entire contents of a house, it's finders keepers. So lucky for me, it was a good investment and a good guess. So
Thank you very much, Jordan.
are you guys getting? David said he's got no sound. Hopefully, can you guys hear us? Okay.
Hold on, let me see
Hopefully.
if I got it.
Melissa's
Wait,
just
wait.
gonna check.
Where's my?
We're gonna run some audio checks here. Oh yeah, just in time for me to cough. I still have a little bit of a cough from being in that house, and it's been several weeks or so then. Oh boy, yeah. Somebody said it could have been. Vinyl Earthlink says, yeah, it could have been a lot of junk. It's basically what I saw when I walked the house was just a
That's
bunch of.
kind of what we thought.
It was a bunch of clothes and a bunch of junk, and so I took a wild guess and you know, made an offer and did all that work and labor. And every time I do this, somebody on the other side of the screen says, "Oh man, that's a bunch of junk. I hope they paid you to take that stuff away," or you know, you should have got it all for free. And it was the same on the Potter's house where they said, "Oh, you shouldn't have bought that place. It was just a bunch of garbage in there." And then you uncover a bunch of pottery. And in this place, same thing. Some of you at home were saying, it's a bunch of garbage. And we find a bunch of like diamond rings and stuff. My dad always used to say that I had a lucky horseshoe crammed firmly up my crevice. And I don't know. I'm grateful though. I'm grateful that these lucky finds are coming our way.
Zenobia said, I hope that both auctions do well. Thanks, Zenobia.
Yeah. David says he has sound now. It was his mistake. David, were you watching us like this going, I can't hear anything. That's really weird.
I've done that before, not with my fingers in my ears.
I was
where
going
I'm
to say.
Trying to figure out what's wrong with the audio, and I have a button on my computer that mutes it.
Oh, I do have, not this weekend. I have something really fun planned for tomorrow, which I will do a video on.
Are you going to say what it is?
Oh, everybody's saying, what about the Mont Blanc pen that I have? I don't know if it's real or not. It's really cool. I'm keeping it for the time being until I know what it is. Liz Grease, I'm going to get back to the video thing. I have to answer a couple super chats here. It seemed like a good enough chance. Would you travel to a hoarder house in like the US or even Europe? Maybe. Yeah, I mean, once the world settles down, right now I don't think it's worth the risk to travel. But that's what actually ties into what I was going to say is that not this weekend, but next weekend, I was invited out to someone's double car garage, which is an old house, and I think they're tearing it down. But the garage had been packed full over a period of years, kind of hoarded, to the point where they actually have to take a chainsaw when I get there to cut the garage door off to let me get in. And I said, well, what's inside? They said, we don't know. It's like packed up to the roof in there. So it might be a situation where I might be able to buy everything in there really cheap and empty the garage. Or, you know, they were going to actually pay a company to take it all away for free. So anything I find that I can salvage would be good.
This one.
Well, I don't tell you everything, I guess.
Funky Aardvark said, good luck with your sale this weekend and next. Happy birthday to me on Tuesday, 49.
Happy early birthday. Yeah, so it's going to be, I should have a garage clear out video. I don't know if I'll do the whole garage. I might just dig around in it. Matthew says, thank you everyone for all your support. Thank you, Matthew. You just stay healthy out there.
Yes.
So treasure hunt happening next weekend. Live stream of the auction will be happening tomorrow, and that is at Kauctions.ca. If you want to watch the live, you can go and watch it live yourself on their site. All you have to do is log in and click on the bid live, and it'll show the auction live, and you can watch it and bid on stuff live. While you have me streaming in the background on your YouTube channel, you can do both at the same time and hear my commentary. I will be doing a live stream on our channel as well. We'll do it for about an hour, probably not like a whole big long period of time, but we'll do the first maybe like 80 to 90 lots or so for the first hour and see how things are going. And then I'll do an update later on and let you guys know how we did if we hit our goal. Nick Molnar says, hello, Alex and Melissa. Need to call you in at the store. Would love to buy some or all of the coins in the store. I don't have much for coins left anymore. What I had is at this auction that's ending tomorrow. We sold some privately. We put a whole bunch of silver coins in at the auction. I haven't even checked to see how they're doing now. I think they're doing okay. But lots of silver dollars and all sorts of stuff. So I do get coins on occasion. In fact, I am going to look at some really neat stuff tomorrow. So we're going to find out. Tracy says, why are the jars of coins bidding so high? The reason why people are bidding up the jars of coins so high is that the coins that we have are 80% to 90% pure silver. And so what they do is they look at how many ounces there are. So let's say 60 ounces. It's what, like about $30 Canadian an ounce. That's $1,800 of silver for like $500. So it's actually not that high. It's below scrap value. So if they took that in and you melted it into a bar, or whatever, you would probably get more
Giant nugget for
a giant
necklace.
Yeah, you can make a giant like Mr. T dime.
Yeah.
Like a big
Oh, yeah.
look at the size of this dime. That'd be awesome.
Can you imagine if you slipped and fell? It would become a sled very quickly.
It would knock out your front
Oh
teeth
my
probably.
gosh.
You'd go for yourself on it.
Cindy said, I've put a couple max bids on some rings, only to find out the max bids are way higher than mine. Man, that is not good for you, but that's good for me.
Well, and
Thank you, Cindy.
We have no idea how things are really going to go until tomorrow.
Yeah.
The auction starts tomorrow. I believe it starts at 10 a.m. I'm just going to check and I'm going to find out.
Joyce, good. She put it all in caps and you caught him.
Hang on. I'm looking. I'm on their site right now. I'm just looking to see.
Laura's asking what happened.
10 a.m. 10 a.m.
yeah.
Mountain Standard Time. So 10 a.m. my time. The auction will start. So then we'll know. But right now it's up right now. You can bid on stuff, and then we just don't really know. Expert of Effects says it's all in caps. So I'm gonna read it like you wrote it. Great peeps. Last time I asked for a shout out for my wife Shannon. She's a nurse and working late again. Oh, well, he's actually being serious about it, so I better be serious about it too.
That serves him right.
His wife is a nurse and working late again. I went and sang and had to delete the post. Well, hello to Shannon, and thank you for the hard work that you're doing. I guess he put everything in caps except for the ha at the end, but there you go.
That would happen to me whenever I'm making a joke or something. Then it's something very serious, and no, that's.
I think I have a whole bunch of Bakelite jewelry, Jean, but I don't know how to identify it 100%. So I haven't put any of it up for sale because I don't really know what I'm doing, frankly. It's easy when it comes to jewelry because it's stamped.
Yeah.
14 karat, and then we have a diamond tester, and then you test for diamonds.
But even then, we don't know. We can't size the diamonds, so that's why anything that looked like there's a bunch of diamonds, we found out the carat weight. But otherwise, we just had to say diamond earrings. So.
Yeah, or small diamond earrings.
Small diamond earrings.
But if we thought it was really good stuff, we took it in for an appraisal.
Yeah, if I thought it was over $1,000.
Did not put any of the watches through the auction.
That's the one that you saw.
No, and Heidi Amador says, hi from Texas. Love your channel with the big Texas heart. Thanks, Heidi. Appreciate that. If you smell Bakelite once, it's supposed to have a distinctive smell. I've heard that too, but I don't know. We'll find out. Guru Dude says, can you wish my mom Phyllis a happy birthday today? Apparently it's Phyllis's birthday today, so happy birthday to Phyllis.
Phyllis.
Yes, it'd be awful if I read his comment and then said no. Can you wish my mom Phyllis happy birthday? No, I can't. Yeah, happy birthday, Phyllis.
Laura knows. My mind's like a squirrel. She asked more than once. Bobby Hall's card.
Oh, it's sitting upstairs on my coffee table, I think, right now. It's going to find its way to the store. You know, I had a bunch of other things that I'd kept aside to put through the auction on the 30th, and the auction house actually said, whoa, we are like full. Please don't bring anything else in right now. Like it's crazy. So I had a few things, like there was that little Batman magazine that I had where he's like surrounded by girls in bikinis. Like he's, a typical day with Batman. He must have been out on the ocean in the bat boat. Maybe they were surfing or something. Who knows? Maybe he was doing the Bat-Tusi, whatever it was. Yeah, that thing, and then there was a couple other things, but we'll probably we'll have to do some other auction down the road too. Nick Molnar says, whatever you get in the future, let me know. I'll buy it all. Cheers from Ontario. I'll call in next week sometime. Okay, well,
I think he's the one that asked about the coins, right?
Yeah, he did ask about the coins. We occasionally get coins through, but I certainly hadn't had a haul like that. That was an awful lot of stuff. But Nick, you don't have to wait until the future. You can go and bid on them right now and win them, and they'll send them to you tomorrow.
I made a bid on something that was relabeled, revised. Does that mean they were found not to be real gold, but gold plated instead?
No, they would have put that in they would say what the revision was. The revised might just mean that there was a spelling error or they had a photo in the wrong spot. So
There wasn't a lot of, like on this one, if I said gold tone or gold colored, but on this lot, I didn't see anything that was gold plated. Like we had stuff in the very beginning
It would
for the
yeah.
auction before that said GE on it, which means electroplated.
We would have put
But-
plated if it was plated on
Yeah,
there.
don't worry. It would have been something like it had an extra detail that they forgot to put on that we would have called them about and said, can you please let customers know?
Okay, so with that, I'm going to flip it around, and you guys want me to do a little scroll through and see how the auction's doing right now? Let's see. I do have a bunch of Tiffany boxes still upstairs. We haven't.
What was happening with the silver watch? Did you say that already?
Oh, I still have it upstairs. I haven't done anything with it yet.
Carla said, darn, I like the thin silver watch.
There is, boy, what did we do? If we had a Tiffany piece, because Tiffany stamps their stuff, if it was an actual Tiffany item, we would put it in a Tiffany box typically. So a lot of those empty Tiffany boxes that we had, we found the Tiffany stuff to go inside. That said, we probably still have a few Tiffany things upstairs that are not there. So let's just flip this around. Okay. I'm on the site, Kastner Auctions. I'm on their page right now, Kauctions.ca. And we have almost 1,000 lots up, if you can believe it. So I just switched it over to 100 lots per page, and there's 10 pages of stuff, so over 900 lots. Ben Bernhardt says, hi, and all the best with the auctions from all the way in hot Adelaide, South Australia. Well, don't be bragging. I would be nice to have some hot weather for a
Somebody
little
said
bit.
like 38 degrees. Was that you, Ben, that mentioned that?
Maybe it was. Okay, I'm going to scroll through, and we are going to see what we can see. Okay, so item number 1, 10 carat yellow gold heart with a whole schmack of diamonds. This is why I can't do the listings for these. What is it? It's a schmack? I don't know. It's a glob of diamonds on a heart. It'd be the worst description. A glob or a schmack of diamonds. It's a bunch of diamonds. It's a diamond cluster or whatever you want to call it. It appraised at $2,000 though. So that's at 500. And that's what I don't know is how close it'll get to the appraised value. When they say appraised, that's like if you went into a store, that's probably what they would have it close to listed at. Go on, Alex. We've had a very mild winter so far. I know our thank you, Cindy and Red Deer. Our weather has been pretty good. So there is a $3,000 14 karat yellow and white gold and with many diamonds bracelet, appraised at $3,000 for 600. So there's some deals, I would say. There was one in here. I'm going to try and get to it. There's a ring, and it appraised at like $6,000 or something. Ann Towner, I don't understand how one woman could possibly use so many. Well, she just collected, and I think that she just collected anything that had precious metal or value.
These ones are more dinner rings than engagement rings.
There will be a live auction as well, PM, for thank you for asking. They will have auctioneers doing the him and a hum, and whatever else auction noise. Oh, there we go. That Burke's is like our Tiffany's kind of. It's like Canadian Tiffany's. It's a high-end company. So this is a $6,000 18 karat gold, white gold and diamond ring by Burke's. Appraised at $6,000. It's at $900 Canadian. That's probably like 700 US. If you're in the United States, your currency, you get a lot more bang for your buck by buying Canadian stuff right now. So really, really good deals in that regard. There's another one too. This reminded me of your ring a little bit, Melissa. This was the, when Melissa and I got engaged, we got her a platinum and diamond solitaire ring from Burke's as well. Hers is a little bit bigger carat, but $4,000 ring for 750 Canadian. That's like 600 US or something like that. So lots of stuff that has a lot of room on it, I'd say. It's anybody's guess, anybody's game. You never know what stuff is going to be going for, but I'm going to flip this back around. It will be live. So if you tune into our channel, we'll be doing our, my wonderful commentary where I'm like, hey, look, it's a smudge of diamonds on a thing.
So the rings were very much all over the place for sizes, but the big thing that's important is that the rings, the metal at the back of a ring is called the shank of the ring, and they're all thicker. So that means that it will be easily sized unless it is
Yeah.
What are they called? Oh, I can't
I
think
know.
of what it's called. But
If you take it into a jewelry store in your area
It'll
after
be
you buy it,
easily
they
sized.
can size it. Like they do that every single day that somebody buys a ring from the store. They have to size stuff for people all the time. It's a very easy process. How much do you think your celebrity helps your sales at auction? Oh, my celebrity. 'Cause everybody, you know, I don't see it as being a celebrity. In fact, in most of my videos, I'm just holding the camera and making random comments. It's Hans and Josh and the other people and Paul and so forth that are on my channel that I see as being like the celebrities of
But
our
I think
channel.
it does, to be fair, I do think that it helps us for sure that we have this,
Platform helps us to reach more people.
Now everybody knows about it because, otherwise, everybody around the world, you wouldn't know about Kastner Auctions, and there's probably no chance you would ever look at that site. So, in
Yeah.
that aspect, it does help. And everybody wants to kind of be a part of the story because you're invested as much as we are into the story and to the love that surrounds this whole project. So it's more than just an item, it becomes part of the story as well.
Yeah. We're getting a lot of questions there. We had, there are sewing machines. Dee Dee, I see that. There was like 9 sewing machines in the house, which we donated some, but some will be going there.
The bracelets are between, most of them are 7 and 7.5, most of them 7.5. There were
Inches.
some, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there were some 8s, so 7.5 is the normal size. And there were a couple anklets. I put it in there and they ranged at 10. So most 7.5 though.
Oh, yeah. Tally says, were you able to pay off your overhead costs already? Yeah, a long time ago. In fact, day one, we covered our expense of the purchase, and then I made a couple other sales. Like we sold a lathe that was in the basement, a couple other things, and that basically got us all of our expenses paid. So everything happening tomorrow is pure profit, folks. Like I said, biggest auction, biggest turnaround. Never have I had, if you bought a storage locker, let's say, for 10 grand and you ended up pulling $200,000 worth of stuff out of it, it would be the most insane episode of Storage Wars ever. So it's pretty crazy. Luckily for me, I already had something to spend it on, so it's actually just going straight to the building.
Your Nana says, what grade is the $5 King George? Good?
The $5 King George bill that's there. Yeah, it was, boy.
Was it graded?
Fair, good. It's not graded. Like, it's not ripped. There's no writing or anything on it like that.
We don't know.
It's a 1930s bill. I would say ask the auction for more pictures if you need them, or have a good look at the pictures, because I'm not a professional at grading those things. But yeah, it's in good shape. Carrie BK says, hi again from Innisfail, wondering if area rug was cleaned. Wishing you all the best of luck with your auctions. No, Carrie, if you are bidding on the pure virgin wool area rug that came out of the house, I went so far as to vacuum it on video. The last cleaning it had was me vacuuming it with the vacuum that came out of that house. The reason why I didn't take it in for professional cleaning is that after sitting around in an auction with the other stuff and being on the floor, somebody would have had to clean it a second time anyway. So may as well just sell it as it is. The next person can clean it before they put it in their home. It's really good condition though. And I don't know when she bought it, probably back in the 70s or before. She paid $800 or something for it back in the 70s. That's a tremendous amount of money for something like that. Ryan Pillock says, I'm winning on 3 bids. Hey, congratulations. What the Hales mentioned us on their site. That's cool.
Yeah, that was nice of them.
Yeah. This is one of the things, there are some people that do storage lockers, and I wish them nothing but success with it. We've done it once. There's a video buried on our channel somewhere where Stephen and I did a storage unit, and it was a bunch of just junk, pretty much.
Yeah.
Mind you,
I still have the knife block.
Yeah, we got a nice Henkel knife block. That was like the best thing out of the whole unit. I think I paid $400 for the unit, and most of it was just stuff that we took to charity. So we pretty well just, got our money back on it, and wasn't a bunch of money.
What about oh yeah, sorry, were you going to say more?
Do I have any more info on the confirmation of the Queen Mother's furs? Somebody wrote me and said that they were a security guard for the Queen back in the day, and he remembered her having tea with her at some point when they came for a visit, but I can't verify any of this stuff.
Yeah.
But I would think that if she wrote Queen Mother's furs from 1951 or something, there's probably a good chance they are. That stuff ended up with Mark, so that's his stuff now. Yeah, it was like a mink stole. Oh, I did find out some family history though about Betty Joan.
It was told to us by family, right?
Yes, her cousin, actually, she had a cousin that survived her, came into the store, and we were able to get back a lot of the family pictures to her, so that was really good. Oh, I'm going to come back to that. Cindy said, it keeps getting suggested to me, although I've already watched it, storage units are a crapshoot. Yeah, you never know what you're going to get with any of this stuff. Anyway, Betty Jones' family, some of her surviving family came in, and they said that they had a grandparent or somebody in the family that had a furrier, and they used to work for Henry Singer here in town, which was a really high-end clothing store. Like, they sell really expensive stuff, and they raised chinchillas in the basement of that house at one point. So they were furriers as well as tailors in the family, thus a crazy amount of fur coats in that. If you're interested in the clothing, you would have to go to Swish Vintage in Edmonton to check out Swishy Girls site. They are selling all the stuff that I pulled out of the little room, and all the other stuff is on Etsy. You'd have to talk to Mark, Pontiac Dry Goods, Naked in the Bowery, or Blink Optical. That's where all the other stuff went.
I'm gonna go make sure nobody's on the internet.
Oh yeah, I see. We're a little bit blurry right now. We're just gonna give it a second to reload. Melissa went up. She's literally kicking children off of our computer right now. I can hear them. she's saying, "Get off!" Melissa's taking care of business, folks. That's what's happening. Thank you, Star Sales. I'm just gonna give it a minute here to get less blurry. Hopefully it does. Melissa, all the children decided to get on all the devices while we were doing the live feed, and it's slowing things down a little bit.
Could you hear me mumming them?
I could hear you mumming them. It's still blurry right now. Melissa says, you guys really motivated me to start over 7 diecast models and know how to deal with the collection. It doesn't help that I'm far from most people in Singapore. Diecast cars are quite collectible, and some of them can be quite valuable. It all depends on the brand name. So I'll tell you, if you have the more detail on a diecast car, the better. So if it has little carpeting or real kind of leather upholstery seats and things like that, those are the ones that are worth more money. So brands like Auto Art, CMC, and so forth. If it's Maisto, some of that stuff just really isn't worth a whole lot. But you have a lot of money sitting in diecast. It's too bad you weren't closer. I'd buy it off you, or buy some of it anyway.
The Czech glass perfume bottles.
Yes, the Czech glass perfume bottles are Curtis Schlegvolt, I think. I can't remember exactly how to say his name. Those are at the January 30th auction right now. And actually, while we're here, are we clear again now?
Oh,
is the picture clear?
Now.
Tell me, guys, it looks better. I think it's clear on our end on the other thing. So there we go. See, all she had to do was go upstairs and kick all of our children off of all of the devices.
They were all like up there doing it.
They said, we're just going to watch a show.
Yeah, they had the TV on, streaming, and they were playing a game. That's what happens when we come down there. Here, they're just quiet. They're like, Dad, you'll never know.
This is actual reality TV. This isn't your run of the mill.
Get off the computer.
I'm gonna flip this around. The oldest thing. What was the oldest thing I found? Petrified wood.
What about the dinosaur bone?
Well, we found dinosaur bones at a garage sale once. That was kind of crazy. This is the other auction. This is the January 30th sale with the household stuff. So see, there's the couch that was upstairs. Ooh, snazzy. You wouldn't want to have that shipped if you're out of town though, but for somebody locally, that's actually a good price, $200 for that. These mid-century modern wood dressers, those are very in right now. So $100. Some of these chairs are like $12, $10. So the prices on a lot of the furniture is pretty modest. Oddly, see, you never know what's going to sell. That 50s brass cocktail stand bottle is $50. Thank
you, Debbie.
And 50s and mid-century stuff is a lot more collectible than what they call brown or wood furniture. Like that is an exceptionally cool office chair. That's a nice little office chair. This pedal car is not from the house. That's another consignor. There's only, I think, 1 or 2 pieces in this whole other auction. Liz W says, explain how to bid when it's live. Okay, I'll explain. You log into Kauctions.ca and you see this little button right there, get approved to bid. Badunk. Oh, my sound effects aren't working. Oh, somebody got me Snacksatchu instead of your inhales. There we go. I will be a nail biter tomorrow. Anyway, so you log in, you create a password, and then when the auction is happening, you just click on it and you just go bid, like bid now, basically.
Thank you, Angela.
Right there. And when it's live, it'll show it as being live, and you click on it live and you can follow along. I would say get on the auction early, like about a half hour beforehand, to get yourself all signed in. When the auction goes live, they actually do a little introduction and they talk to you and stuff. There's the
Plus, you're going live tomorrow to show them, right?
I'm going to go live tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to be logged in,
So
but
you can,
they should get themselves all set up with an account tonight, though, if they're going to do it, is what I'm
'cause
saying.
it looks a little different than this, like when they're.
I should have washed that table down. That's the one that had all the ornaments on it in the upstairs bedroom. You can still see all the little circles of dust where I took the ornaments off.
Comes with free dust.
Complimentary dust, folks. Oh well, somebody can wash that off. I was working
There's
so
just
hard
so
just getting
much
this stuff
stuff.
down there. There was so much stuff. That's a mirror from the front hall, little curio cabinets, suitcases and stuff, boxes full of vintage fabrics, $20. That's a big moving box full of it. That's a lot of stuff. The little Egyptian heads, cameras that I found and stuff there. And the prices are still pretty reasonable.
The shipping would be beforehand?
Depends on where you are and how much stuff you're bidding on. And I've heard the auction tell people as well that, they calculate it after the fact. But I would say that they're fair with the shipping cost. Like if you order a sofa and you're in Australia, they're probably going to call you and say, listen, like we'll just resell this for you because there's no way you're going to want to pay for shipping. Yeah. But if you're buying like a handful full of jewelry, it's not going to be expensive no matter where you live, because you can buy something, it's going to fit in a little envelope and off it goes, or a little box. So tomorrow's auction, you don't have any worries at all. It's not gonna, and none of that stuff's gonna be expensive to ship. And they do send it, I think, with tracking as well. If you're in the Edmonton area, I think they'll deliver for free, but don't quote me on that. I think I saw.
No, but like, did you tell people in Edmonton?
I shouldn't be like they said that they give you a hamburger with every purchase. I don't know. Gosh. Okay, no, they're not going to give you a hamburger with every purchase either. That's one thing I miss about going to the auction. I was talking to a lady at the bank, and she said, I used to like going to auctions or whatever because I was putting a check in for the auction. And I said, the thing I miss about going to the auction sales, auction hot dogs or auction hamburgers. When you're like, oh, my item's not coming for an hour. This is the ideal fun situation. It's summer. It's a beautiful, clear day. It's like not too hot, but not too cold. Maybe a little bit of a light breeze. Just beautiful outside. It's a farm sale. There's that little, like, it's probably, like a 1970s camper that they've turned into like a hamburger stand.
Hint of poo in the air?
No. You're ruining my image. Scratch. I don't want to. No, the porta potty. There's
no, because you said it's a farm auction.
No, there's no poo smell.
Okay. Have you been to a farm auction?
It's okay. It's not spring. Okay. It's like summer. It's all dry. Anyway, she's ruined. Okay, I'm gonna get this image back in my head now. Thanks for that. It's a fresh. They grow flowers. Oh. It's a flower farm. There's lots of cool stuff. There's people that you're friends with hanging around and you get to chat with. I love chatting with old guys, like old farmers at farm auctions. It's my favorite thing. Some old guy, and you sit down at the little park bench across from him and you're both having like a hamburger or something. And he's got the John Deere hat, and it's not farmers. I don't know what it is. They don't pull their hat down like a normal person. They perch them on top of their head like any gust of wind could blow it away, but somehow it never moves off their head. Gale force winds, and some guy's got a John Deere hat just perched on top of the last hair on his head. Anyway, I love chatting with those guys, What are you here for? Well, I don't know if I want to tell you. It might bid against me. And then you have like a little dialogue about it. And some people are like really intense at auctions too. And they'll see that you're showing interest in something, and they'll be like, you don't want that. That's a piece of junk. You don't want that's just garbage. And then you're like, maybe. And then you see them bidding on it. You're like, what? You talked it down? And they're like, I went to an auction once with a guy who's kind of a friend. He's like, I don't see him all that often, but we're friendly when we see each other. But he actually went around and told everybody not to bid on the stuff that he wanted. And they did it. And I'm not going to name names. I don't know if that's a power move or kind of a bit of a douchey move, but I think that you're friends at the hot dog stand, but you're frenemies when it's bidding time. May the best person win when you got your paddles up in the air. If you're my buddy and we both want the same thing, you can have it if you can bid higher than me. That's how auctions work. But don't like guilt trip me into not bidding on stuff. I don't think that's how it works. Anyway, so that's kind of the nice thing about bidding online, is that you don't have to sit across from a guy angrily eating a hot dog and staring you down. I told you not to bid on that hay rake. And you're like, Well, but it was $10. Sometimes you get crazy things at auction sales too. I've been to places where there's pallets full of stuff going for like $5 or $10 each.
That's like the worst part for me for an auction because I don't eat red meat. So we go and there's no food, and then I have to be like, well, will you sell me a bun that I can put like the toppings on?
And we went to a good auction last year. Oh, maybe you didn't come with me, but they had like apple pies and like they had a whole variety of stuff.
Was that the one that the cars were like parked all the way up on the?
Maybe.
And they had like a little barn that was the snack shack.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, they had more variety there.
Yeah, but it still was like that was the vegetarian option was like the apple pie.
Generally, I'm in it to win it at a farm, but I get what you call auction fever. I don't like to I try not to go to too many auctions myself because I don't like to lose stuff that I think is cool, but you have to keep margins in mind. And I did a video, I think a couple years ago when my children were almost fetuses and they were just little. Steven and Jason came with me to an auction sale and there was a barber pole that I wanted. It was a Koken barber pole, like an electrified one. I had just sold one for, I don't know, $500 or $600. And I said, look, there's another one. Maybe if I go get it, I can sell it. It went for like $2,000. It's not worth anywhere near $2,000. I was like, man, why are people bidding so high on this stuff? So we actually left, which was just as well because my kids were running rampant. You know when kids get bored and they just start running around stomping? And it was a little bit cold, so there was ice and they were just cracking ice all over the place and getting bored. So I was like, we'll just go. The prices were too high. And anyway, I hope those people are bidding on my stuff tomorrow because I want everything to go crazy high tomorrow. That'd be great so we can reach our goals. And hopefully you guys get some deals too. Melissa Sum says, super addicted to your channel and glad that I can support you guys here. Work as an appraiser for luxury goods and will gladly help if you send pics. Okay, well that's vague. I'm guessing luxury goods in terms of like maybe watches or jewelry, things like that. I don't know. We'll have to see. Nothing beats though the time that I was at this house and it was kind of a hoarder situation. And I'm going to explain this situation to you guys. This is what, I didn't put this one on camera because the guy didn't want it to be on camera, but this would have been a great episode. So imagine this. If you've seen the movie Back to the Future, raise your hand. If you like Back to the Future, raise your other hand. Okay, so imagine Doc from Back to the Future with the big white hair. What's the actor's name that plays Doc in Back to the Future again? He was Jim... Why do I remember he was Jim Ignatowski or whatever in Taxi? I can't remember what his actual name is. Okay, anyway, it's going to come up there. The guy that played Doc in Back to the Future. It's going to drive Christopher Reeves? No, that was Superman. Christopher Lloyd. Yeah. Thank you. My God, I got there. You know, it took me a couple minutes to go roundabout. I like hit on Superman. I didn't hit on Superman, but I got to Superman. I made it all the way around. Christopher Lloyd.
We all understand if you hit on Superman. It's Superman.
Hey!
It's Superman.
Well, maybe it was Christopher Reeves, but...
We farmers don't talk like that. Our farmers do.
Can't believe you're bidding on my hay rake. Anyway, so this is the story. I got to tell my story.
Oh, sorry.
I got to I'm getting myself off track here. You got distracted by Superman, apparently. So I go to this house. He's called me. They have called me. And they set up a time with me, specific time in the morning. I ring the door all, bing dong. Who answers the door? I want you to imagine Christopher Lloyd as Doc with the crazy hair. Whoa! Opens the door like Kramer on fire in tighty whities and an open orange house coat. Whoa! And I'm like, whoa! And he's like, oh! And then he rushes around. He's getting pants on and stuff. I'm like, you called me! You told me to be here. Why the show? It's like I must have woke him up or something. He forgot I was coming or didn't care I was coming. Anyway, so I go inside and he's like, just look around. There's junk all over this place. And I'm like, man, there's junk all over this place. And I'm walking and I'm like you have to kind of kick stuff out. You've seen these hoarder house videos that I do, right? And so you have to kind of like shuffle your foot around to find something. And so I'm moving stuff around and lo and behold, I move my foot and there's a watch on the floor. And I look down, it's a watch, pick it up. Oh, it's a Rolex date just with the tag still on it. I'm like, I think it's real. Like, you have a Rolex on your floor? Watches all over the place. I'm like, what? The guy had Rolexes like all over the floor, like everywhere. Like, I don't, like you don't think these places exist. Like, you go to a store and you buy like a $2,000 watch or something and you're just like, yep. Let's see how far I can chuck it across the room. Maybe that's a thing. Maybe some people do that. They just Yep, it's an expensive watch, and then you whip it across the room. Won't see that again for 30 years. I don't get it. I mean, I'm sure it was like there was a teetering box and it was set on the ledge of the teetering box and it fell off or whatever happened. But I ended up buying a box full of watches off the guy. And it was so cool. It was so much fun. I have nightmarish like dreams. You know those good dreams that you have? Like if you ever have a dream and you're like, man, I wish I could just stay in that dream for a little while longer. Those sorts of experiences haunt my dreams. I have like panic dreams and I'm tossing and turning. What am I dreaming about? Melissa probably looks over and I'm like, I'm dreaming that I'm like at a flea market and somebody's selling off a bunch of like toy cars for next to nothing. And I'm like, what? I can have all this? And I'm all excited. And you like going to an antique sale and finding all kinds of treasures. I'm
gonna have feet will be kicking even in bed.
Like a dog? Like, no, what? I don't turn into a... Okay.
Did I say a dog?
Apparently now...
You're like running in your sleep.
Yeah, okay, well, running in my... Well, I do. I am very fast. When we go to antique sales, Melissa gives up on me. She's just like, blah.
I cannot... initially I was offended by it, and then I just embraced it, because if I let him run off, I can take my time, go through all the things I want to see.
Oh, yeah.
But otherwise...
It's the worst for me.
Because I like, at farmers markets and stuff, all the fresh vegetables and all the homemade stuff. And I mean, not all the homemade stuff, but like the veggies and fruit and jams.
Yeah, but like at an antique sale or something.
Yeah.
If we go, Melissa will stop with the kids. This is what normal people probably do. And they stop and they poke around at a table.
I talk to the people at the table.
She chats.
I want to hear their life story, because that's really...
I can't be polite. I'm not... I'm like, I don't mean to be rude, but I'm going to leave all of y'all here. And I'm just going to take off at 100 miles an hour. Because I scan like the Terminator looking for its next kill. I'm like this.
It'll be like 5 minutes later. I'm still at the first table and he's like, okay, let's go. Like, what?
Oh, I can walk. I can do the whole round of like a big antique sale in probably like 5 minutes. Because I'm like, do this and I'll buy stuff and I might spot a couple things and I'll go back to it. I'm good and gone. Antique stores, antique malls, things like that. I'm in and out. Bam. That sounded horrible.
Yeah. I didn't say anything.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, I can get through an antique sale in a hurry is what I'm getting at. And it drives me nuts that, Melissa is a chatter. Well, you wouldn't know it from today because I'm the chatterbox when we do these.
You guys for sure wouldn't know that I am a chatterbox.
Yeah. No, okay, this is normally how it goes. In our off-camera life, I'm talking a lot right now, but in the rest of our lives, I take the passenger seat when it comes to the chatting. Melissa is the chatty one. When family comes over and stuff, she is all like giving her.
I need to catch up. I really genuinely am interested in people's lives, in what they dream, what their hopes are, like what they like. I'm that person that...
And when you're done talking to the pets, you can move on to the humans and ask them the same questions. What are your dreams?
And for our area, I'm very much part of the community, so I know a lot of our community. So I run into everybody everywhere.
Yep. Grocery store. I want to go and get the things on our list. Like, I'm list oriented. If I make a list of stuff, I will get everything on that list done in record time. I was once a courier for a TV station. And, okay, I'm going to share a story with you guys. There was a TV station here in town called ITV with Eyewitness News. I'm sure everybody has Eyewitness News in their town. But anyway, this was ITV. It's now global. Anyway, I was there back in the 1990s. It was my first job out of school. I volunteered there in high school a bit, and then they gave me a job because I was a little hard worker, and they appreciated that. Yeah. So they said, well, why don't you start off being a courier, being a driver? So they gave me, this was actually while I was still at the tail end of high school. They gave me the news, like they had a news delivery van, but it looked like a news van. Like, so everywhere I went, it looked like there was a murder scene probably where I was, because it was like, what's the news doing here? Like, you're never really happy. It's not like, unless you see somebody walking down the street with a giant check, and you're like, oh, they won like the Publishers Clearinghouse lottery. You know that the news is there. Something probably sketchy happened in your neighborhood. Yeah. So I drove the news van doing deliveries when I was 17 years old. Anyway, so I had the news van, and I was taking over for a guy who thought that he was John Bon Jovi's like twin. He dressed like him. He had the same hair. He was a big Bon Jovi fan. And man, he was like, I had to train with this guy. And so I trained with him for like 3-4 days while he showed me what he did. And on my training route, he would actually stop and be like, I gotta go check in with my girlfriend, and make me wait in the van for like 45 minutes. I'm like, come on, like, what is this? Or he'd be like, you gotta learn to pace yourself. He actually told me that. You gotta pace yourself in this job, otherwise they might start to expect too much from you. Bev says, oh, thanks. I wonder what happens if things don't sell. Everything's selling tomorrow, Bev. Don't worry about that.
I know, but what happens when they don't?
I get the stuff back if it doesn't sell.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at first it goes to another auction. Like sometimes they'll sell it in the next auction, and then eventually.
And then eventually comes back.
Yeah.
All right, back to my story. So John Bon Jovi is training me how to be a shuttle driver, delivering stuff for a TV station. And I'm having like the worst week of training with this guy. And at 17, I thought this like 25-year-old guy or whatever, or 35, I don't know how old he was. In my mind, 25 was like 50. I'm like this old dude. Anyway, he was probably in his 30s or something anyway. I'm like, what's with this guy? And I was 17. And he's like, you got to pace yourself. You know, you got to relax and take it easy a little bit. And so he would schedule way less stuff on his day than a person needed because, stop and get a coffee, smoke 5 packs of cigarettes because you just did that. Go visit with his girlfriend for a bit, check his hair in the mirror. I was like, what? So anyway, when they gave me my van and my wheels at 17 and I went up against this guy, I plotted out a list and I looked at the map and I did it in order like a UPS driver probably would now. And I would like go, okay, if I go here and go there, and it'll make a nice little circle and I'll be back. And so I would do my route and I wouldn't take very long at all. I would take like a 30-minute lunch break because I was like just wanted to blah, 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 eat my food and get back to work. And so I was finishing at like noon. Like the work that he normally took to do 9 hours in with an hour lunch break, I was getting done by noon. And they're like, what? And the people who I was delivering to were all super happy and stuff. They're like, how are you doing this? And they actually had an intervention with this guy. And they're like, how is this kid like getting this? And he came and talked to me. He's like, I told you. You gotta slow it down. You gotta pace yourself. You're gonna ruin it for everybody. And I didn't know at the time that he was like applying to be like an executive. You know when a guy this is like an 80s sitcom. Like the John Bon Jovi guy working the delivery vehicle is actually trying to apply to be an executive. And I saw him apply for that job and they looked at him and they were like, ah. And he's like, oh, I didn't get the job again. So it probably wasn't helping that I was finishing his job in record time. But I did that for a short while before I went to TV and film school for a little bit. And it was it was fun. Got to go around, got to drive a news van. And when I was on my lunch break, sometimes my friends would meet me at like the Taco Bell or whatever. And I'd be the guy in the news van with the pump and stereo. But I was dedicated. Anyway, where I'm getting at with this is that I'm good with lists. See, look, I brought it back. I bet you probably forgot what even started this conversation. I'm good with lists. If I make myself a list.
I'm more surprised that you remembered what you started the conversation with.
You'd be surprised how my brain works. You're like, where's Alex going with this? The guy's crazy, he's out of control. And then he's like, oh, that's what happened. That's what this whole YouTube series will eventually be like. You'll be like, this guy's a whole lot of weird stuff going on. And at the end, you'll be like, oh, I guess that happened because I have my master plan. Woo! Anyway, yep. So I guess we should wrap it up pretty soon here. I'll try and answer a few questions. We're going to try and cap this live feed off at an hour, and we're at 53 minutes. Boy, apparently I can just talk people's ears off.
I'm a list person too. It's easier, it's satisfying when you get to check it off or really scribble it out. It depends on how intense I am.
Okay, so now is the time where if you are at home and have a question, you can ask and we will try and answer.
Jeannie said, wrap it up, I just got here.
Well, I have to go back and rewatch the whole thing. So there are, between my stories today of like Doc from Back to the Future letting me walk around his house while he's in his tidy whities. Can't, hey, listen, people come, they're like, I have to tidy up. I'm like, you trust me, you have no idea. I'm not afraid of anything. I don't care if your house is piled, like if I have to crawl over a mountain of cats, if there's something good on the other side, I'll probably go through it. Not much scares me off. When we'll be able to see the furniture from the house on the auction website. You can see the stuff right now. You can go look at Kauctions.ca. It's all up there right now. The January 30th sale is live. You can look at it there. The the 23rd sale is ending surprisingly tomorrow on the 23rd. So check that out too. Shanna Miller says, I hope the auction goes really great. Thank you for the live stream. This was fun. You're welcome. You had a question.
I don't have a question. Somebody had asked earlier. It was the nesting blue dishes. I think they were birds or something.
Those are at the store. They were supposed to go through this auction on the 30th, but we just didn't.
But if they're interested in them, can they just call you at the store and buy them?
Yeah, they could. Yes, they could. Alex sounds like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo when he gets excited.
Oh, don't get him going.
Yoinks! Like, hey, we gotta get out of here, Scoob. Like, now. I guess maybe I channel my inner Hanna-Barbera. I was always more of a fan of Hanna-Barbera than I was of other cartoons.
I want a souvenir from this series. Don't we have shirts on Teespring? Or we have 2 giant auctions of stuff actually from the house.
Just buy stuff from the house. Yeah. There you go. This is how, if you want to support our channel, it's nice when the live chat or the super chats come through and all that. And, you know, that's unexpected and pleasant. But the way to support our channel, we're a business. So you can buy something from the auction sale. You can watch little commercials or just watch our content. That's really it. Like a normal store.
Cheer us on.
Hey, Aggie. Aggie.
Swings.
Oh, yeah.
Is there much touristy stuff to do in Edmonton besides restore if I make a trip this summer? I don't know. It depends on how this whole situation in our world is going. But usually there is.
Do you want me to talk about it or you want to talk about
it? The touristy stuff?
Touristy.
Yeah.
You come to visit the tropical location of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. You will find yourself, yes, as somebody mentioned, West Edmonton Mall. At one point was the largest shopping mall in the world. It's a big mall with an indoor roller coaster, water park, and all that. So there's a lot to do there. If you're not for shopping malls, we have a beautiful river valley, and they actually have an old paddle wheel sort of steamboat that goes up and down. I don't know if it's steam powered, but it's a paddle wheel boat that goes up and down. There are the Rocky Mountains just hours from here. If you want to see some of the most breathtaking mountains.
A lot of lakes.
A lot of lakes. There's lakes and beaches and stuff that I was really hoping to get my sister Heather out here in summer so we could take her out to the beach. Because yes, even though we're in the prairies, in summer, it's really nice. And there's nice sandy beaches, cabins and so forth. We have, it's a fairly big city. There's like 1 million people here. So there's lots of stuff to do. And of course our store is here. And at some point we'll have a little coffee shop too.
Of the store.
Yeah, I know. Well, there's us too. But there's lots to see and do.
Market, what is it called?
There's probably like Tourism Alberta, or there's lots to see. Fort Edmonton Park is always lots of fun. It's
it's open again.
It's like a little old timey village. A lot of places have that.
Oh, we really like it there.
I heard somebody was from Australia, and they said, because I had a friend from Australia, and I took them to the Fort Edmonton Park, and they said, oh, we have this back home, but they dress us up like prisoners and make us come off the boat like we're going to jail. And I'm like, are you serious? They're like, yeah, I'm serious. Like, okay. So I don't know if that's true or not, but here we dress up like we're well, we don't dress up, but you go there and it's like they have role players that pretend like they're pioneers and stuff. And they're like, now they have people walk around like they're prisoners in Australia. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess this part is part of the history.
Cindy said, I thought the paddle wheeler got wrecked by ice one spring. I think it did.
They fixed it.
Yeah, but it did get wrecked that one spring. And then they had other issues where it got like beached and...
I have, like people are like 7 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon, which we probably are too, I guess, if you think about it. Because I probably worked with some actor who worked with Kevin Bacon or whatever. The guy that owns a paddle wheel boat, I am friends with the guy that runs that boat and fixes it for him. Comes in our store, buys our High Horse coffee all the time. And also the guy that has the paddle wheel boat has he owns his own racetrack. That it's not like he's like, yeah, I own a racetrack and I rent it out for races. He owns his own racetrack for himself.
Why wouldn't you ask to use it?
I think they let people go out there for club events, but you have to have special insurance and stuff, I think.
No kidding.
But he's like, I'm going to buy a farm field and build my own racetrack. Now, that's dedication. And he owns, he had a Porsche 906, like a really valuable car, and it caught on fire. Anyway, there's some interesting people around here.
Yeah.
You never know what's floating around.
You never know who you're going to meet, too.
Well, here in Edmonton, people just throw their Rolexes around just to watch them fall. Any idea why she had multiples of rings? I've seen, yes, you've asked that question. Well, without having her to ask, all I can say is that she had multiples of everything. So this is what I think happened. She probably got like a flyer in the mail that said this ring normally $2,000 on sale for $500. And she was like, huh, that's a good price. She caught the bus to the store and bought all of them because she thought it was a good deal. I think that if she thought it was a good deal and she obviously thought that gold and silver had some value, she probably just bought everything. And so that's why there's multiples of stuff like those peridots and sapphire ring or amethyst rings and all that stuff. There's like 6 or 7 each of them. She probably just got a good deal in her mind and bought them all.
Who's the most famous person that you've ever met?
I don't know. Hard to say. Like I drove around, like just Diane Keaton and I drove around, and I showed her like historic buildings and stuff. She had an interest in architecture. She's a lovely lady.
Yeah, actually super nice person.
Patrick Swayze had dinner with Melissa and I and Melissa's sister. We were at the wrap party.
Was Sarah at the wrap party?
Yeah, she was there. Your sister was there, and he sat down at the table with us and was chatting with us.
Right, I forgot that.
Yeah, so we can say we had dinner with Patrick Swayze once. I don't know. There's I can't think of all the people I worked with because there's a whole bunch of people that I don't know. The guy that played Count Dooku saw his bare butt run across. We were filming some movie and he had a scene where he had to run out of a house like it was on fire and he was bare butt. And so I saw Dooku butt run down the street. Can't remember the actor's name, but I
met Jennifer Lopez. She came into
J-Lo. Yeah.
Yeah, she came into the jewelry store I was working at. And the only reason I recognized her is because she had bodyguards with her. Otherwise, I would have never even known.
Yeah. That was random. Chewy.
Yeah.
Hey, Chewy, come.
Chewy.
Chewy, come here.
Do you want this?
Come on, Chewy, come. Our dog is staring at us like he wants attention.
But we got so many requests from last time, and I
you gonna grab him?
Come here.
You know when your dog looks at you and then you go to pick him up? If your dog is little like this, and then they back up 2 steps so you can't?
Yeah, our dog is a snob. He really does look at us and be like,
yeah.
Yeah. He makes it look like he wants you to pet him, and as soon as you're even close at all, he just steps out of the way where you can't reach him.
Oh, right? Lots of people from Ohio on tonight, apparently. You know, so my last name is Archbold. Not Archibald, not Archibald, it's Archbold. And there's a town in Ohio, in fact, it might be the only town that I know that's called Archbold, Ohio. So at some point, I had to call there once because they make furniture. I know this. They make Souder Furniture, I think is a brand name. They used to sell it at Walmart and stuff anyway. We had a product issue with it, and I had to phone Archbold, Ohio, and I was like, hey, guess what? I was like 20, and I was like, you guys, your name is like the same as mine. And the person on the other end is like, yup. So what's wrong with your furniture? They weren't having it, but anyway, I was excited. One day I will go to Archbold, Ohio, and I'll get my picture taken by the sign that says "Welcome to Archbold."
Archbold, Pennsylvania.
Is there an Archbold? You know, so I have. If you look up my name, my proper name is Alexander Dustin Archbold. If you look on the internet at a guy named John Dustin Archbold, he's a distant relative. Used to run Standard Oil for Rockefeller. Don't know where all that money went. All that stuff never filters its way through the generations. You're like, but there is a university, a campus, a building on campus at Syracuse University, New York, the Archbold Wing, which was named after some relative of ours too. So there you go. Small world. That's right. We were the Jed Clampetts of our day, shooting at the ground at some grub. And striking oil, no. He actually just ran it for him. So, anyway, yes. So we guys, us are gonna call it a night. I think we were trying to get. Am I in your space?
No.
How close can I get to you before I'm in your bubble? Okay. Apparently pretty close. But what if I'm poking? Is the bubble? Oh look, her bubble has. Okay, I can get real close with my face. Oh, but if I have my finger out like I'm gonna poke her, look. She'll bite. Okay, so apparently her pokey bubble is right around here. I can't. Yeah.
What if I got your finger?
If you got my finger, if you bit me on camera.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Oh, did you see that? She's a biter."
I'd get like a cast on it for the next video. I'd be like, ever since the incident, which you all saw.
All my subscribers, I'd come back the next day. I'd be down to 3.
I have a sling for just my finger. I'd have it like hanging from my neck like a harmonica. What happened to you? What's wrong with your finger? Well, if you watched the last live feed, you'd know. You'd know what I have to live with. Yeah, actually, people always say Melissa's a saint because she puts up with me. We're both saints. Or we both have to put up with each other. That's the secret of marriage, folks.
You think you have to put up with me?
Yes, and you put up with me, and that's the secret of marriage.
Yes.
The secret of marriage is just putting up with each other for as long as possible. Like, yep, that's a crazy thing that she's doing that I'm not going to get
I
involved in.
love you.
Yeah.
Yep. He's like, no, you put up with me.
But you put up with me to, like, I go and do crazy stuff. When you guys see what I'm going to pick up tomorrow, you'll be like, yeah, she puts up with you. So when you see the video that I'm going to shoot tomorrow, you'll be like, yeah, this is some stuff.
I just pest Alexander because he's very busy. So he's busy all the time.
Somebody said this man is not a smooth talker. The secret of success here was we set the bar really low when we got married so that even just the smallest gesture just puts you over that bar. So if you go big, like if you're that guy who, if you got anybody who had a massive wedding and you like, what'd you do? Oh, we took hot air balloons to Belize. Like, wow, that's a long trip. You go over the top and go big like that, you only have letdowns for the rest of your life. We got married in her uncle's living room. We eloped. We had dinner with her family. It was nice. We were smart. We saved our money. We put it towards buying a house. And you know,
for us, like that was what we did.
I'm not saying to be a cheapskate. What I'm saying is that just be smart, do things that matter, and then when you do little things down the road, make it meaningful. Like instead of just buying flowers on Valentine's Day, just buy them when you think that your wife might want flowers or your partner might want flowers.
You know when I like flowers?
All the time.
More than when I get them. No, I'm just kidding.
It's probably
Kylie,
true.
I'm glad that you put it up. I know a lot of people were asking, and I saw your comment before. Will the buttons and sewing notions go on?
They're already being bid on. There is, I kid you not, a bucket, like a big bin of buttons. A big bin of buttons. A babob. There's a babob of buttons up there right now. It was actually heavy and difficult to lift. There's so many buttons. You wouldn't believe it. I took any little jars of buttons and drawers full of buttons. I just put it all in one thing. Like, there. You like buttons? Have at her. There's as many buttons as you'll ever need in your whole life. I didn't even look through them.
One of the things that I took from the house was one of the smaller sewing boxes. I didn't even look in it. I ended up getting it home and looking. Thank you, Phoebe. But I wrapped it up for my grandma for Christmas after I cleaned it off, of course. She was so happy with that because I knew she likes going through stuff. And it's fun to go through like a little treasure box. So that's kind of like what we did too for the things that have like large lots. It's like you have a little treasure to dig through yourself. Oh,
there's some boxes at that sale when it's like mystery estate box of something. There's good stuff in there, and it's like a big variety. So if you see just a box of stuff, you'll get a whole bunch of stuff, and you can do your own unboxing video on your end, or go through it with your friends, because there's all kinds of stuff that came out of the house where I just got literally exhausted, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not even gonna go through this box and just put a sticker on it. Box of estate collectibles. I don't know. There's probably statues and stuff in there.
We even, like, some of it, we thought, what if there's something, you never know what's in the box. But the truth is that it's good for us to know that somebody else might get a surprise at the other end as well. Even if somebody said, I can't believe you missed out on this $5,000, whatever it is. We honestly would be thrilled for the person that got it. So
oh yeah, I had a guy do that.
That doesn't mean that's what's in there. There could be
I had a transistor radio at my store, and I had it priced at like, I don't know, $40 or something like that. And the guy's like, cool, and he bought it. And apparently it was some really random rare, because I know a lot about general things, but when it comes, I know transistor radio is collectible, but sometimes I don't have the time to research every single thing because we're buying tons of stuff all the time. And so I was probably just like, had it sitting there. He's like, what would you want? And I'm like, I don't know, man. $40 is good. So he paid $40. And then he said, I sold on eBay for $2,000. I'm like, well, that's good. That's great. I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
I'm happy when somebody knows that they can come into my store and still get a treasure. And there's lots of things we get in that there's room. We actually sell to other dealers in town too, that we try and leave room for them.
Well, we purposely do that to make sure that we want things to be an investment for somebody else, so that if they turned around and sold it, they would make money.
Emily, the Mickey and Donald banks, as far as I know, are still at the store as of today. If you call in and talk to Sean tomorrow, he can probably figure something out for you.
Oh yeah, tomorrow's Saturday.
Yeah, but guys.
Oh wait, a lot of people are asking about box of scissors.
Oh, there's 2 boxes with scissors. There's one big box. The big box of scissors you guys saw in the video is up already for auction. You can bid on that. Apparently, some of those big tailor scissors are worth a bit of money, the antique ones. But there's also a box with some tailor books, like old ones. And I put a few tailor scissors in there too. So there you go. Chewy is a Yorkie. Michelle, I saw her ask a question. Love the more in-depth sales. Yeah, well, we're gonna see how this auction sale goes. This is gonna be our biggest sale ever. It's happening tomorrow, and then there's another auction with the paintings. Liz, I see you asking there. There's the paintings, the furniture, the collectibles that came out of the house. 90% of that stuff is going through auction on the 30th, and you can bid on it and look at it right now. All at Kauctions.ca. Melissa, thank you for putting the link in earlier. It's also in the description of this video.
And Matthew put it up a lot. It's like if you go through and
yeah.
And thank you for posting my links. There was somebody asking about my channel, but
oh, Robert, thank you so much. And Tree Sprite, thank you very much. Somebody said Yorkshire Terrier. Yes, Chewy is a Yorkie. And I was telling Melissa that there's
and a sprinkle of poodle.
a sprinkle. Yeah, he's 95% Yorkie with like 5% poodle. Just enough that he gets really excited when he sees a poodle. He's like, whoa, I don't know what it is. You seem familiar. Yeah, so apparently there, and I'm going to end on this story. There's another breed of Yorkshire Terrier which was just recognized as being a breed, and it's called a beaver. It's not spelt like beaver, but it's called a beaver Yorkie.
Does it live in the lakes? And
well, this is the thing. You have an animal. Why name it after another animal?
It's not spelt the same.
But it's pronounced. Yeah, okay. Well, you could call it a cat, and it's pronounced D-O-G, but it's still called a cat. Anyway, they call it a beaver. It's like B-I-W-E-R. It's a beaver York. Apparently, it just has weird spawning on it, like a small, cute little thing.
It looks like it looks like a dog.
Maybe it likes to build little wooden houses. It's funny. There was a comedian, and I can't remember his name right now, but he was saying that like birds, they're one of the only animals that builds its own house, and we as humans feel we have to build houses for them. Like, what if we have how brash of us as humans to do that? I wonder if the beaver dog will actually start building its own little beaver dam in your house if left to its own devices.
Tree Sprite said, "Tell Alex made it through kidney surgery, please."
Oh, great! Well, that's good news. So yeah, there we go. Somebody said their cockatoo destroys their house. Either how small is your house or how big is that cockatoo?
Cockatoo or cockapoo?
No, cockatoo, like a bird.
Oh my goodness.
Like, I imagine like a 4-foot tall cockatoo that's out of control. And not in the way that you'd imagine a bird to be fluttering around. I mean like sitting on your sofa and eating a bag of chips and like wiping its dirty feet on your couch and looking at you. My cockatoo destroys my house, and its like name is Bill. Oh, and it probably would talk to you like, my couch.
Is a cockatoo the ones with the big white, like?
Yeah, I think so.
So if it is, I can only think of them dancing. Like, that shows how much music actually affects us. If animals are keeping the beat and dancing, like nobody trained them to do. I mean, maybe they did.
But why is it destroying his house?
Yeah.
See, I just think it's the world's biggest cockatoo. It's like 4 feet tall. It's human size. And it's more of a slob than it is destructive. Like it leaves its things out. Like if it eats food, it leaves its plate. Like it doesn't even put it on a table. Like it's sitting there on the couch with like a big bag of chips, and it's got like a plate that's dirty with like a greasy. I was gonna say a chicken leg. Oh, baby! No. You don't get to be a 4-foot tall cockatoo without cannibalism. Anyway, so it like leaves that on the couch, and there's stains. And you walk in the door, and he's like, "Oh, what's up, Josh?" And you're like, "Man, you destroyed my house again." "Oh, come on. I was going to clean it up later." It's like a bad teenager cockatoo. Anyway, there you go. So, guys, on that note,
there's always something
I swear, folks, this is water in this cup here. That's what this is. On that note, we're going to sign off. Go check out the auction sale. Look, I'm gonna point when I talk. It's PowerPointing. Go check out the auction sale, Kauctions.ca. This is slowly turning into a bad disco dance with a lot of pointing. You know when you do that dance and you kind of bite you kind of back it up? Anyway, go check out the auction sale. Everything is ending tomorrow. We are going to live stream the auction with my probably incoherent commentary tomorrow. As I watch things end, it'll be at 10 a.m. Mountain Time tomorrow. Log on like you did today, and you can watch the live feed of us. Better yet, get yourself an account, log on, and bid, and then you can watch both of us at the same time.
We could see your name going on there.
Yeah, we'll cheer you on. We'll be like, "Don't let it go. You're only $5 away," and they'll be like, "Boop," and then you win it.
As always, we're very appreciative for everyone that decided to join us tonight. Make sure that if you're not already subscribed, to join the YouTube family down below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up because you love us so much and we appreciate it. I
was going to say, when you get your items that you want, if you're watching this and you win an item at the auction, when you get it, post a picture I'll put up a Facebook post saying, post what you won at auction from us. And like, yourself like wearing a ring or something like that, send us a pic. I'd like to see how happy everybody is and all this stuff get dispersed in its happy homes. So I'd love to see it. So post it on our Facebook page. If you're on our Facebook, it's just Curiosity Inc. on Facebook. So you guys have a lovely day. Stay tuned for more episodes. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Live feed is tomorrow, and fingers, eyes, and toes are crossed for a great sale that will turn into finally, after all this talking about it, will finally turn into construction on our building. So have a great night, guys. We'll see y'all soon, and bye for now.
Good night, everyone.
Bye, guys.